An investigation, but could anyone else face those charges? Attorney Frank Gimbel is here. Joe Paterno, that's the big question. The coach who...
Well, it is. You know, Kim, this story is one that should turn the stomachs of an awful lot of folks because the Penn State football program is like the premier program in the United States. And I think what most people would like to think is that organized athletics are an alternative to the mayhem of poor kids on the street. Well, this story really unfolds to demonstrate that you have people in high places who got away with, at least if any of these allegations are true, with horrific crimes, and that nobody stepped up to take care of the victims. And so that's really what is creating pressure on Joe Paterno, the winningest coach in the history of college football. Joe Paterno, by his own testimony in front of the grand jury, did indicate that he was told in 2002 by a graduate assistant who was kind of tearful in relating this story to Coach Paterno, that he had observed Coach Sandusky in a shower room with what appeared to be a 10-year-old boy engaged in a sexual act. And Paterno took that information and the next day reported to the athletic director what this graduate assistant had done. Paterno, for all intents and purposes after that, walked away from all of the mayhem that maybe should have occurred at that time, which is now happening about this and about the plight of the victims. And what has grown out of it is that Sandusky, the defensive coordinator for Penn State, is charged with 33 felonies, 7 misdemeanors. The athletic director is charged with a felony of perjury. The vice president of the university is charged with perjury before the grand jury, and each are charged with a misdemeanor of failure to report.
Is there, with Paterno, was there a legal responsibility for him to go beyond telling what constituted campus police to go to the actual authorities? Well,
that's the $64 question. Based on the information that has been released by the Attorney General of the state of Pennsylvania, who's run this investigation, and a 23-page grand jury report, Kim, which I have read, it appears as though Joe Paterno's legal responsibility, from the point of view of whether or not he has any potential criminal culpability, has been addressed. He went to the appropriate person in the chain of information or influence in the university, and he was aware of the fact that this telling information was passed on not only to the athletic director, but to a vice president of the university. And the consequence of that is that, for all intents and purposes, his legal responsibilities to report were concluded. The two people to whom Joe Paterno reported this information also thereafter had a face-to-face with the eyewitness person who was the graduate student, and they characterized in their appearance before the grand jury as this person telling them that there was some mischievous activity occurring in the locker room that should give rise to concern about Sandusky, the alleged pedophile. But what we see here is, I think, an extraordinary amount of pressure mounting
on this
to end the Paterno reign at Penn State. And I think that probably, based on many people who are close to the decision makers in this matter, it looks like Joe Paterno may not see the end of the season as coach of Penn State.
Disturbing story all around. Thank you so much, Frank Gimbel, for being
here.
Happy to be here. 7:47. Let's go to Rob. Rob, the weather, it's just really, no, Rob. We're going to go to Nicole.
I was going to do